So the first one I want to talk about a little bit tonight is integrity. And I often think of it in a structural sense. When you build a complex like this, the first thing you have to do is dig into the ground to create a strong foundation. So when the rains come and the winds blow, the structure still stands. And we've built that into this business from the beginning. And the first way I want to talk about it is the fact that we're here in Vietnam. When we arrived all those years ago, we recognized as a company we're a guest in your country. So it's absolutely vital for us to follow all the laws, all the regulations, and do exactly the things that honorable businesses must do. And we don't do that just because we're told. We do that because that's how you build a business that stands the test of time, right? We had some time earlier this trip to be able to meet with government officials and present ourselves and articulate again our commitment to being a good corporate citizen here in Vietnam. And that's important. But it's built into other parts of the business as well. Many years ago, I was hosting a visiting delegation, and we were walking through our research and development facilities in Ada, Michigan. And the scientists were explaining to the delegation of the work they were doing and the equipment that they had to do it. And they identified a piece of equipment. They said, this is so specialized and so vital, there's only 2 pieces of equipment like this in the whole of the United States. One was at a very prestigious research university in the United States, and the second one was at Amway. Pretty good. So when I heard the scientists say that, there were 2 things that came to my mind. Number one, that's got to be pretty expensive, right? And the second was, who approved the purchase of that? So I'm Dutch, I'm a little cheap. I try to make sure things stay inexpensive. But I realize that our research and development team understands that we are committed to them to give them the equipment and the resources they need to develop the best products for you, right? So integrity is built in to our whole product development system and to the quality and the commitments that we make to you so you can do the same and make those commitments to your customers. And that wherever we go around the world, people will recognize the quality of the Amway product line. You got it. You know, the next thing that comes to my mind is about the business opportunity. I remember riding in a car with my father a number of years ago, and he was just kind of looking out the window and just thinking to himself, and I said, "What are you thinking about?" And he smiled and looked at me and he said, the plan, the business opportunity. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Think about it. This simple idea has worked for decades, and it has connected with people all over the world. This simple idea that there would be a way that people could work together, build businesses together, earn income together, and it would stand the test of time." And here we are, nearly 70 years later, and those original ideas stand the test of time. The business opportunity that you enjoy and the business opportunity that you share with your prospects is basically the same idea that Jay and Rich had at the very beginning, because we built integrity into the business from the start. Now, I know a lot of people will want to challenge that integrity. We've built a great reputation here in Vietnam. You've built a great reputation here in Vietnam, but a lot of people will still be skeptical, and that's okay. In fact, there's a funny story about a gentleman who lived near our headquarters in Ada who didn't believe in the Amway business. And every day as he would go to work, he would go past our headquarters. And this happened for years and years. And every time he drove by, he'd think to himself, that thing will never work. And then a few years would go by and we'd build a few more buildings, we'd create more manufacturing, and he would still think to himself, that thing will never work. And years would go by and the campus would grow and more buildings would go in. And after about 15 or 20 years, he finally decided maybe Amway will work. And the reason we know about the story is because he felt so strongly about it that he came to headquarters and he wanted to see Jay and Rich to tell them that finally, in his opinion, Amway would work. Well, I'm sure Jay and Rich were thrilled to hear that. But that's probably the same message you hear from people sometimes. The same message, they say, well, you're in that Amway thing, but I don't think it's going to work. And you just go about your business. You just keep selling products. You just keep sponsoring people. You just keep building. And don't let those people slow you down. There you go. So I hope that gives you an idea of the strength and the integrity that's built into the business. So when market changes come and the winds blow in our business, we are strong and we can stand the test of time, right?